little presentation to share with you my trade setup checklist. And I'm using this these days to find my best trades. And I just wanted to share that with you so that you can do that too and perhaps make a little bit more money and have a little bit higher win rate when you do trade. So here's my trade setup checklist. Make sure you have, make sure your setups have all of the items that I'm going to show you right now. First items, required items. You want a good pattern. You want your pattern. I'm trading right now in 5 and 15 minute charts, not 1 minute charts much. And I'll show you a couple of examples of a couple patterns that I trade. But you want a good pattern in place. You want your RSI and your MACDs in place. I'm using these are the only two, couple of the only two indicators I'm using, RSI and MACD. I find that they're very, very helpful in making sure that the trade is in the right place on the chart to do what I want it to do. And I'll share more about that in a minute. The next thing is a pivot for resistance. What I mean by that is you want to have an area where there was a swing low to take a short against, or a swing high to take a long against, a pivot line. And I'll show you an example of that. Next is a good time of day. You want to make sure you're trading when there's momentum, when there's volume. That could be the London Open. It could be the Asian Open. I like the New York Open and the first couple hours of the New York session. But if you trade in between sessions in the middle of the night when there's almost no volume around, then your chances of price extension and making money are not good. So really don't just keep trading throughout the day and hoping that volume's going to pick up when it's just steadily dying off. Make sure you know when the best times of the day are to trade in terms of volume, volatility, and momentum, and trade only during those times. And finally, trade early in the trend. A lot of times what people do is they see a trend, they see one pullback, they don't get in because they don't know how to get in, and the trend continues. And by the time they muster up enough courage to try to hop in on the next pullback, the whole thing's, it's spent. Basically, it's tired, it's done. And so you were not early enough in the trade, and this is something I did over and over and over again in my early days of trading. I just got in too late, and even though maybe it looked like a good entry point, nice little pullback against an EMA and continuation, it just didn't go anywhere because it was too late. So you want to you be in early. Primarily, I'm thinking after the first major push, finding a double, pullback, double bottom, double top, whatever, after the first major push up or down, and that's when you want to be getting in. Is it the first real chance you get when there's still momentum left in the trade? So let's go through these things. A good pattern. Let's take a look at a short pattern. This is what I call a Christmas tree double top. The reason I call it that is it kind of looks like Christmas. You've got red and green, red, green, and you see that you're in a downtrend. You see that price is respecting the 8 and the 20 EMAs. 8 is purple, 20 is green. And you see that price is kind of coming down, bouncing up, and then bouncing against the EMAs. Bounces down, bounces up again, and once more against the EMAs. So what's happened here is that you've got a downtrending stop that's put in two tops. Two green candles, which represent two bounces up. And then two red candles, which represent rejections of those EMAs. So that would be a double top, Christmas tree double top. Another type of double top would be an equal double top. This one is showing relatively equal price points here against the 50 EMA on a 5-minute. This bluish, greenish line here is the 50 exponential moving average on a 5-minute chart, and you've got relatively equal double tops as opposed to falling double tops. Here's one that I picked up off the British pound, and as you can see, price is coming down and then rejects against the 8 EMA sharply, comes down a little bit more, and goes up to the 8 EMA again, kind of crosses over it or on top of it again, and rejects again. So that would be a falling double top as opposed to a equal double top or Christmas tree pattern. There's hundreds of different double patterns like this. They come in all shapes and sizes on all different time frames, but you basically, what the thing is you just train your eye to start picking them up and picking them out. And after a while, you start to see them over and over again. And you start to recognize the different types of double tops and the different types of continuation patterns that these represent. Okay, so next, we looked at that, and I want to go to RSI. Okay, RSI is an indicator that I use. If you're on TradingView, basically you can just go to TradingView, go to indicators, and find relative strength index. Click that, and then you can make your adjustments here. So yeah, RSI. It's just your standard RSI. So basically, you want to make sure with RSI that it's, if you're looking for a short and you find that, hey, I have a Christmas tree pattern, double top pattern I like in a downtrending market, what's RSI doing? Let's see if RSI supports the trade. And if you're short, you want to be under 45, ideally under 50, but it's even better if you're under 45 and pointing down. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about it. RSI is very simple. It works on every time frame, but this is a 15-minute chart, and RSI is under 45, as you can see, and pointing down. That's exactly where you want it to be. The next indicator that I like to use is MACD. You want to make sure your MACD is in place. So on MACD, moving average convergence divergence. The blue line is the fast line, orange line is the slow line. If you're looking to go short, you want to make sure that your blue line has crossed or is just about to cross your slow line, your red line, orange line, and it's pointing down. You don't want it pointing up. You don't want it, above the slow line if you're looking to go short, or at the very least you want it to be touching. It may not be below it, but let it at least be very, very close to touching it or actually touching it. Anything less than that, your MACD is not giving you a good indication. So just forget about it unless your MACD is in place also. Okay, so next you want a pivot line for more resistance and more support, basically, to your position. Okay, so pivot lines. These are a little bit harder to notice, but let's just try to pick one out here. So what I'm going to show you here is a pivot line, and it's there to support my trade. This is a long trade. As you can see, my RSI here, this is where the setup would be right here, this candle. The RSI is up, pointing up. It's above the 55 level. MACD, you've got fast line above the slow line, so that's good. And your pivot line is this line right here, this black line I've drawn on here. And why is it a pivot line? Well, because if this is your trade that you're looking to qualify here in this area, you're looking to go long because you've had a nice push up and then you've got a pullback, and now you're looking for a continuation up. So do you have pivot line support? So you look to the left and you see, where was the last pivot where price kind of bounced up against a level and then continued down? Because when you're going long, you want to look for swing highs, right? At the level that you're trading to support your long, okay? And the opposite is true for shorts. So if you've got pivot line support, your chances of the trade going in your direction are just a whole lot better. So look for pivot line support, look for swing highs at the level you're trading at if you're going long, look for swing lows at the level that you're trading if you want to go short. Okay? So you want a good time of day. I think we talked about time of day already. Just make sure that there's volume, there's volatility, there's momentum in the market. It's near the London session open, or the Asian open, or the New York open, or the New York power hour, which is the last hour of the New York session. Just make sure you've got all that in place and ready to go. Okay, so it seems obvious, but for New York, you really want to have that volatility, and that's going to be between 9:30 and 11 New York, plus the power hour. Power hour, which is 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. New York time. Okay, just make sure you're trading in a good time of day that supports what you want to do. Finally, be early in the trend. Don't be late to the party. If you're trying to hop into a stale trend, you'll get chopped up. Don't let that happen. Try to find setups not long after price breaks out of trend consolidation periods. look for the initial wave, the double test, then a continuation candle based on your pattern. Okay. If you start getting in on the third wave, yeah, your chances are not real good of things working out. Look into Elliott wave theory a little bit if you want to know more about this and trading earlier in the trend. Okay, in conclusion, in summary, when you have a good pattern, your RSI is in the right place, your MACD is in the right place, you have a pivot for extra resistance or support as the case may be in your trade, you're trading a good time of day, and you're fairly early in the trend, then trading can feel a little bit easier to do. So just keep all this in mind. Have your checklist out when you're looking at setups and thinking about getting in, and just go through the checklist real quick. Just take you 1 or 2 seconds per item. 5-10 seconds to qualify all the items, and if they're all in place, then take it away. Good trading. Trade management is the topic for maybe another video, but we're just talking about entries today. But management is a whole nother area, and it's an area, to tell you the truth, I'm not really that good at, but I'm working to get better. Okay, so that's my presentation for the day. Thank you very much, and hope to see you on the next one.